Namaskar. My name is Ratnadesh. Before that, I was known as Ratnadesh Ananda. And I was the last, one of the last people to get Avadhuta Diksha from Baba before he died. So when I got Avadhuta Diksha, after I got Avadhuta Diksha, Baba, after 3 days, he left his body. But how did all this thing start? I was always, I had always been looking for something which I consciously or unconsciously, I didn't know what it was. So by the age of 16, I started moving and leaving the country and going to many places. So I did South America by land twice, except the Guianas, British, French, and Dutch Guiana. Almost all of the countries I was traveling around there. Then I decided to go to India, and at that time I had no idea about Ananda Marga. I didn't know anything about Ananda Marga. So I was moving around India, going to different places, the places where Krishna was moving, like Jagannath Puri, Vrindavan, all these places, moving up the Himalayas to Rishikesh, Nepal, Kathmandu, and after that I was planning to go to Tibet. That was just when China was there, and the border was closed, so I couldn't. Then after that I came back to Brazil, and only then I met Ananda Marga. How? I was moving around and.
You're from Brazil?
I'm from Brazil. I'm Italian descendant. All my grandparents were from Italy. And when I came back to Brazil, I was in south of São Paulo, and some Margis had been, most of the lampposts had posters about there would be a talk on yoga, meditation, and all this. So I went there, and I met probably some of the first Dadas who ever came to Brazil.
What year?
Oh, I can't tell. No, I don't know exactly.
In the 70s?
Don't remember. 80s.
Oh,
yeah.
Early 80s.
So I went to this talk, and I met, his name was Dada Nitya Satyananda. I think he's still alive.
Yes,
he's in India. And at that time, we had a very small Jagrati downtown. And then I liked it so much that I was getting more and more involved. And one Dada from US, Dada Buddhishananda, and Didi Nivedita from Australia, they invited me to go to Venezuela, where I worked there. I was already working for Ananda Marga as an LFT. I stayed in Venezuela for 3 years, and without asking, they bought a ticket for me to Sweden. Said, you're going for a charya training. So there was no point in, we said, okay, the ticket is there, and then the desire was there, so I went. And I was in Sweden for 1.5 years. I was I got flunked on Prout examination by Dada Hiran Mayananda. He was the examiner at that time. He used to come from all the way from, what was the name of this? Istanbul. He had geography there, and he used to come every year to examine the trainees. And I was frustrated because, you know, you don't know much about Prout. Why? And I told him, well, you know, for me, I like spiritual philosophy so much. But Prout, I'm not so
Interesting.
yeah. So okay, because of that, you'll stay here for another 6 months. So, and he didn't come for the exam. He called me from there. So you know, I'm not coming. You passed already. So it was a kind of a drama thing, you know, going on. So I went to India. When I was in India, of course, they took me to. I had to go to exam from Baba personally. So I remember that was the first time I met Baba. And as soon as I got into the room, my mind was like went into a blank state because of all the vibration that there was the people, all those old dadas from the Puroda board. There were 3 on his left side, 3 on the right side, and I said, "Oh, this is it."
Heavy.
Yeah. And I remember Baba, he told me at one point, well, can you do this asana, this posture? And of course my mind went blank. And I was, in my mind, I was doing one type of asana, and all the Purodas had this ironic smile in their face, you know, this guy is not good, nothing's gonna happen here, you know. And Baba was also smiling, and he was clapping hands like this, and doing like this. But one of the simplest asanas that everybody, you know, and even people who are not in the market, they know that asana is so simple, no? And then he did like this, and then all the Dada were saying, you know. And then Baba told me, okay, it's finished. Then Keshavananda came into the GT sector room. He told me, you didn't pass. You know, Baba was helping you and you couldn't do anything. But now I remember, when I left the room, on my way down on the staircase, Dada Keshavananda came up to me and said, don't go down the stairs, you sit here and do sadhana, because he thought my mind was kind of, so he's going to fall down and break his leg or something. No. So I sat down for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then I left. While I was still there was one Dada leaving the Baba's quarters. The taxi was waiting, and he was telling SS Cahira sector. He was talking to the SS Cahira sector. And he was saying, oh, why nobody wants to go to Cahira sector, because they're Muslims or what? He was kind of expressing his frustration about that. And then I heard that, and I was, I think it's part of my nature, no. So I just went to SS Dada. Said, Dada, you need somebody to go to Cahira sector. I want to go there. So I was very happy. He said, okay, I'll send you the ticket from there. So Cahira sector, there are many countries, but I was mostly working in Egypt, Israel, and Greece. I had a lot of experiences with Baba. Of course, Baba was not physically present at that time. but I knew I was under control now, because I remember going to Israel to Egypt from Israel by bus. At that time, all the buses, no matter their companies, they all had to leave at the same time and move in line. They would cross the desert going to Egypt. And as we moved, we could see the soldiers from the army, just following all the buses, protecting them. And in one of my trips to Egypt, that was from Egypt to Israel. Just when I arrived in Israel, just the day before, I was told that some fundamentalists, they had machine guns, and they killed everyone in one bus. And those people on the bus, they were not Jews, and they were German tourists going to see to visit, the country. And I was thinking, maybe Baba was keeping me, I said, don't go today, go to some other time or later, at a later time. The other time was what happened when I was in Israel. I used to go to Jerusalem. Jerusalem, you have the new city and the old city. Yeah, and some martyrs were there. At that time, we didn't have Jagriti in Jerusalem. We had Jagriti in Haifa and Tel Aviv, but not in, so I was staying in one Marty's house. And some fundamentalists went to one of the busiest supermarkets. Actually, it was, supermarkets. Exactly at lunchtime, when everybody's, buying things for lunch and things like that. What happened was that, because in Saturdays are holidays in Israel. They call it Sabbath. And no Jews don't work on that day. And so there were many people going to buy things. The ladies, it was the costume, they all had the prams carrying the babies there, and this guy was exactly 12:15, between that time, somewhere there, yeah. And boom, it was a real tragedy. That was the day before. So then when I got there, somebody told me, if you had come before, because I used to buy things in that market. I said, you will not be here now. So these kind of things were happening, that made me think, okay, maybe Baba is interfering, doing all these things. The other experience I had was once we had a retreat in Ecuador. It was one small town between Peru and Bolivia, right across the border, called the Sacred Valley of Vilcabamba, a beautiful place in the mountains. And while we were there, they decided on that specific day, they all decided to go and do sadhana on top of the mountain. So everybody was moving together, going up the mountain, and I say, why should I move with these people? There are different ways to go up. So I decided to go my own way. Then it happened. At some point I got lost, And I ended up in one area where there were so many plants all over the place and with thorns. And then the whole negative experience started there, because as I couldn't, everywhere, every direction I moved, the blood, my body, that was Ecuador, the weather is so hot, then, I wasn't wearing anything, just shorts. And then I started moving, and I saw there was a trail, some on the way. I said, "Oh, I'm going to follow this. Probably some people who were carrying cattle. They used to come and go that way."
Yeah.
And then I ended up in one water fountain, and I said, "Oh, wow, some water," And the water fountain was dry. There was no water there. So it was getting late, and I was getting desperate. So it was, in my mind, I had the Baba, 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 Baba. In my mind, I said, so I'm totally lost here. I don't know what to do, so please help me. So after some time, I saw over the trees, there was the roof of a house. And I said, oh, okay, finally there's somebody here who can tell me. And I was very close to the hotel where we were staying. And those people told me, no, the wife told me, oh, my husband will take you there. So.
Okay, well, that was very interesting, Dada.
So, yeah. So,
Namaskar.
namaskar, thank you.
Thank you.